it, Everett.
Mr. Everett Collins on keyboards. Give him some, y'all.
Hello, this is a Daddy's Girl podcast. I am the Daddy's Girl, Donnis Collins.
And I am the dad, Everett Collins.
And if you are just tuning in or accidentally clicked on us, don't leave. We will be talking about the music industry. I am the Daddy's Girl, and I'll be interviewing my father, who is the musician. He has a lot of dad jokes and dad stories, but his are very different, and we will be getting into that during this podcast. We'll be talking about legendary acts such as, who did you work with?
Yeah, well, I start with the first act that I was working with professionally is the Isley Brothers. But things that definitely started before that. But the Isley Brothers, then Isley Jasper Isley, with Caravan of Love Tour, and then some different productions that took place. Then on to Sunrise, my own group, produced by the Isleys. And then out of that came Surface. And Only You Can Make Me Happy. You Are My Everything. So that's where we're going to go with this thing. And plenty others.
And plenty others. And what else do you want to add to your resume? Because you're more than just a musician.
That's true. Yeah. I am an educator. I taught for over 40 years, all during the time that I was touring and recording and doing commercials and such. And that started in Amityville, which is where I am born and raised, from Amityville. Yeah. So I guess I'll just continue. Started my own band from the school band. I just was cherry picking, the musicians. We called ourselves the Soul Techniques. And we were in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, and we wanted to be in a talent show. Mm-hmm. So how are we going to get in the talent show if you don't have a band, or you're not going to be singing or something? So at the instigating prompt, my father said, well, why don't you just start your own band? And I was like, what? Yeah. What? Okay. Never did that before.
And this is 7th grade, right?
This is at the end of 7th grade. Mm. Yeah, so coming into 8th grade.
So like 11, 12.
Right.
13.
Well, yeah, 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say, 13. And I just started picking people, Billy Bellinger, he played trumpet in the band. Mm. It also helped that we lived on the same street. No transportation problems.
Harrison Avenue.
Right. And then my good friend Richard Bennett, we were in the same classes. Collins, Bennett. So we always traveled in the same circles. Mm-hmm. And he didn't know he was going to be the bass player because he didn't actually play bass at all. But he told me he could, and he had one. So I got to go with that. Okay, good. We got a bass player.
Did he fake it to make it?
He sure talked really good, boy. Anybody that know Richard B., I'll tell you, he'll make a believer out of you.
Shout out to Richard.
I'm telling you, man. Ricky. So anyway, then next, okay, I got back to the band. I got a saxophone player. He also played clarinet and flute. and that's Richard Folk. And man, that guy, I was surprised he said yes, because it seemed like he wouldn't have time, even though he was a year younger than me. But man, phenomenal instrumentalist. I was like, it's like you're choosing a baseball team. You want your first 4 batters to be heavy power hitters. So here it is. So so he played the saxophones, all the reeds, and then we needed to get another trumpet player because we were going to try to emulate like Kool and the Gang, James Brown, all the bands that were out around that time. So I was like, okay, I'm on drums, and we got Billy Bellinger on trumpet. I think we need another trumpet player. We got Richard Folk on saxophone. We can get another trumpet player or a trombone player. Couldn't find any good trombone players, so we said we need another trumpet player. So another guy by the name of Elliot Maker from Massapequa. But we all went to school. We were right next door. And at the time, he was living over near Jefferson Avenue. He hadn't moved to Massapequa, but we were all in the band together.
Nice.
So, little by little, it was like, okay, man, I need a guitar player, but I don't know anybody. There's no guitars in the band.
Right.
So, lo and behold, I was over in this shopping center that was pretty central to our community called Intercounty, because it was right on County Line Road, Nassau County, Suffolk County. Shout out, if y'all know what I'm talking about, South Shore, Jones Beach, all that stuff. OBI, OB10. So I remember I was looking in this store, and they taught music lessons, but their real gig was teaching dance. So I was looking at all of these pictures of the students and what they played. And besides seeing my future wife, who I never knew, I said, oh, I know her. I remember seeing her somewhere.
Wait, Mom was in there?
Mom was in there as a dance student.
Oh, wow.
So I saw her picture, and I said, I know her from somewhere, but I don't know where.
I never heard that part.
Oh, see? There you go.
There are so many stories I haven't heard. This is why we're doing this.
Exactly. So you got to remember that.
Right.
Bullet point, So we'll come back to that.
Right.
So I see this guy, and he's holding a guitar. And I said, I know that guy too. I know he's on like Little League Baseball when we were trying out. So I said, I remember him. And I would see him all the time. And I knew he was into track and football. So I saw him in school, and I said, hey, starting a band, need a guitar player. And he said, how do you know I play guitar? I said, I saw you
in my research.
Right, in Miss Claire's dance studio. I saw you in the window, and you was holding a guitar. And he's like, wow, you're right. Yeah, man, I'd love to. I just got to get clear with my parents,
Right.
So I said, okay, that's cool. We're good. So there we go. We got 2 trumpets, tenor sax, a guitar player, me on drums, Richard on bass. And I said, man, we need...
And the guitar player's name is?
Ben Dinkins. Thank you.
Ben Dinkins?
Yes. Okay. Benjamin Allen Dinkins.
Shout out to you.
A.K.A. Bad Benjamin Allen Dinkins.
Mr. Bad.
Boy, I'm telling you, man, he's gifted. Gifted. And so there we go. I said, wait a minute. I need somebody that can play drums and play percussion like congas, timbales, and tambourine and stuff. And I was like, duh. My cousin, Leslie. I'm going to ask him. I don't really need to ask him. I just say, hey, Les, we're doing a band, and you're going to be playing drums part-time and congas and tambourine and all that. He's like, yeah, I'm down. So there was our band, the Soul Techniques.
Leslie Delody.
Yes, Leslie. God rest his soul.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. But that was us. And then we played all the way through junior high school, all the way through high school. I mean, we were gigging. We never had to really get a job because we were playing so much music. People were hiring us for their social club dances and fundraisers and VFW and
Nice.
American Legion and yeah, we're doing an anniversary party, Sweet 16s, and oh man.
So that was your first job.
Yeah, really,
Yeah.
absolutely. Besides cutting lawns. So that's where I really got to start. And then later on, that turned into when everybody started going their separate ways in college. I wouldn't say the band broke up, but many of us, we went away to college. Like Richard Bennett was going to go to Nassau Community. Leslie was going to Hofstra. Billy Bellinger was going to Hampton University.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Elliot Maker was going to Potsdam, way upstate. Richard Folk was going to Old Westbury University. And Ben Dinkins, who was our valedictorian,
Oh, wow.
he got a scholarship and went to Harvard.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we have some smarts in the band too.
Right. Congrats.
Me personally, I was the first one out because I was the oldest by 1 year. And I went to CW Post, aka LIU, Long Island University. And then I think I said, yeah, Elliot, Richard Folk, yeah, Ben. Yeah, that was all of us. So come college, we kind of all went our separate ways.
And you all were together for like 5 years?
Oh,
5,
yeah.
6 years?
Yeah, like 5 years. Yep. And that was very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. We all grew up together. So, and then half of us was still local, so we could still play together. So Richard,
Okay.
Leslie, Richard Folk, over at Old West Bay, me at CW Post. And then we started, I started meeting more musicians in college. And man, I was like, whoa, okay, no offense, but these guys can play. Oh, and before I forget, my sister, she was in cosmetology school, but she was our vocalist, our female vocalist. And Yvette Collins Jemerson. So I met this guy, cool guy, drove a gold Camaro, and he was at CW Post, and he was in the band. But I heard him in the practice room playing all of these Tower Power licks, and I was like, who in the world is that? And I looked in there, and this guy with this curly afro was Pete Remaglia. And I was like, yo, I was hearing you playing all these Tower Power licks, and are you in a band? He's like, yeah, well, kind of. It's called Black Sun, but we got some challenges with some of our members, so I don't know. I said, well, look, I have a band, and we're looking for horn players. And he was like, really? What kind of stuff are you playing? So I went down all the stuff we was playing. He was like, yo, I'm in.
And what were those? What were the songs?
The songs was Ohio Players, Cool in the Gang, Tower Power, Earth, Wind and Fire. I mean, the list goes on. Of course, Isley Brothers, It's Your Thing. He's like, man, I'm down. When we start.
Right.
Where we rehearse. We're going to be rehearsing in Amityville. He said, I'm in Belmore. That's cool. I'm good. So, got another trumpet. And then we went on and started replacing with different people. And that led into Lightyear. And Ronald Dozier was on guitar and placing, Ben. Ron Dozier, who's now in Kalamazoo, Michigan, funky guitar player. But and then a gentleman by the name Steve Davidson, family friend. His father was a bass player, upright, standard bass, with Dad, who was a drummer. And so they had a jazz quartet. So that's how I met all of his children. So, and I knew he played trumpet. So he came in and replaced Billy and Elliot. So there we go, Lightyear.
Lightyear.
Yes,
Phase 2.
That's right, Phase 2. Yep. So
So what did Lightyear do?
we started doing concerts, college concerts, and opening up for name acts. One just happened to be Kool and the Gang.
Oh,
And
wow.
We were nicely told, don't do any Kool and the Gang.
Right.
And I was like, okay, that's no problem. This could be our time to shine.
Right.
Maybe we should do one. Which we did.
Oh, wow. Which one did you do?
Hollywood Swinging.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So I was like, oh boy, here we go. Well, it's in our repertoire. Sorry. So we
Right.
did it. We did a short version, then we got up out of there because, okay. Go.
And they came to CW or?
That's a good question. Right. They didn't come to CW Post. They came to Stony Brook University, which was out in Suffolk County. Now it's connected. Very prestigious for their medical program. But so they were having this college gala, and so we opened up for them. We also opened up for a lot of disco acts. There was one, I'm trying to remember, I think they were called, they had this song called Push Push in the Bush. And I was like, ooh, okay. But, and Smarty Pants. And I was like, okay. So yeah, that's how I got my start, besides working Burger King. So
Right.
I said, okay, I gotta give the king the boot.
Rite of passage, I guess.
I don't have time.
You don't have time. So how did the Kool and the Gang gig come about? How did that happen? Did y'all audition?
That's good. We had a friend that was on Stony Brook's student council, and he's like, "Hey, Ev, you should try to get your band in." So I said, "Tell me what we got to do." And he said, "Hey, just invite them down to wherever you're playing, and then we'll come and see you." So, okay, that's fine. So that's what we did. We was playing a gig in this club in Farmingdale called Confucius on 109. And they came down. It was like 3 or 4 of them. And they was like, yeah, we want you guys to open up. So they said, Kool and the Gang. I said, whoa, we there. We're good.
Oh, wow.
So little things like that. And same thing on CW Post campus. We had a place called the Commons and the Ratskeller.
The rat scout.
Ratskeller. Right. Rats in the cellar. But yeah, so they were constantly doing concerts. I mean, huge concerts. And so we had a chance to play there one time. And we almost got a chance to open up for Curtis Mayfield and oh man, I'm trying to remember, Edgar Winter's White Trash. How you like that? Excuse me. Man, we didn't get a chance to open up for them, and I'm glad we didn't.
Right.
Whoa. I was like, oh my gosh. Woo. This thing is powerful.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, man. Yes. And plus, Superfly was just out.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh, yeah, so this was
Mayfield?
1970.
73, 74.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, so I was like, But anyway, good things came from CW Post.
Yeah. Yeah, especially one particular class
Oh.
that you took at CW that led you into
Oh, I know.
changed your life, really.
Yes, sure did. A friendship changed my life. Yeah, it was in, CW Post had this Fine Arts Hill, is what it was called. And all the fine arts, be it sculpture, photography, painting, music, voice, strings, piano, anything that had to do with the arts was way away from main campus. You had to take a shuttle.
Okay.
And so here I am sitting in college course that you have to take. And I was like, oh boy.
It was a music class?
It was a music class. Yes, college choir. So, I'll be honest, CW Post was not known for people of color. It was always the other. So, but you know us. If we see one of us, that's who we're going to sit next to. Right? You know what I'm talking about. So I see this brother sitting in there. I was like, okay. Right? We're in the tenor section. So, yeah. Hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? You know. And he's like, what is your name? I said, Everett Collins. Right? And he said, oh, my name's Marvin. And I said, oh, good to meet you. So he's like, so what are you doing in here? I said, we got to do this thing chorus, so here I am. So are you a vocal major? And I said, no way. So he laughs, and I said, no, I'm a percussion major, so music education, so band is my thing. He's like, oh, wow, you'll probably meet my brother, because he's here too, but, he's older a little. So I said, wow. So during this time, the director was passing out these index cards, and, you had to fill out, this is before computers and all that stuff, so you had to fill out your last name first name last, and your address and a good phone number. There's no cell phone. There's only one number. And so we were filling those out. And so he said, so are you in a band or something? And I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah. I had two bands, Soul Techniques, but now we're called Light Year. And, we do a lot of horns because, we got 4 horns. And, so he's like, oh, that's what's up. And I said, matter of fact, we're probably going to be playing here at CW Post, the Rathskeller. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. I said, and like next week, we're going to be playing at the local VFW. We got a dance and stuff. And he was just listening. Oh, yeah, that's
So
good.
we're busy. We're doing it.
We're moving. We're grooving. So finally, he said, I said, oh, okay, so enough about me, what about you? And he said, oh yeah, I'm in a band too. I said, really, where you play? He said, oh, I play bass. I said, wow. I mean, here we are sitting in chorus. But anyway, so it's like, yeah, well, I sing too. But, so I said, well, what's the name of your group? No, before I said, what's the name of your group? I said, are you, he said, I play with my brothers. My brothers have a band. And I said, oh, wow. Yeah. Are you playing anywhere, like where I could get a chance to hear you?
Right.
And he's like,
VFW. You'll be in the Rathskeller.
Maybe in the Rathskeller or VFW or Ace Community Center or something. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. And he said, oh, yeah, matter of fact, Yeah, we're playing at Madison Square Garden next month. I was like, what? Like, are you a gospel group or something? Maybe. You said your brothers, you know. I'm like,
Wait a minute.
and I was like, and he's laughing. He's like, oh, shoot.
The biggest stage ever.
Like, where the Knicks play? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. That Jake was so funny. And so then I looked at his card that we were filling out, and it said, Isley Marvin. And I said, yo. I said, you're Marvin Isley? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, the Isley Brothers? Yeah, it was my brother's band.
You should have went first. Why'd you let me do this?
He's smart. He's smart. Nope, let him go. I said, man, I feel so stupid. Yeah, I'm doing all this. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Oh, man.
Oh, good for you.
Boy, he was crying. Man. So after choir rehearsal, I was just feeling about, that I could play handball against the curb. Mm-hmm. That's how small it was. I felt that way. But anyway, so I was commuting, but they were living on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So
really?
You're right. Mm-hmm. They live on campus. So Marvin said, "Are you driving?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Can I catch a ride back to the dorms?" Yeah. So I said, "Yeah, man, let's go." So jumped in my Chevelle Malibu.
Ooh.
Yeah, and drove down to Nassau Hall. Was where he was staying. And he said, "Man, you gotta come in and meet my brothers." And I was like, "Really?" It's like, "Yeah, you're gonna meet Ernie anyway, because he's in band and he plays drums as well." I said, "Oh,
the infamous Ernie."
Word.
The infamous Ernie.
The infamous Ernie. So I said, "Okay." Sure enough, I go in there and he opens the door and there's Ernie playing his guitar, but he didn't have it hooked up to the amp. He was just playing it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa. And
did he have his shades on and like the signature?
No, man. He had a New York Mets baseball hat on. Uh-huh. And he was just playing. He's like, hey, what's up? Mm-hmm. So Marvin said, "Yeah, this is Everett. Man, it was stupid the way we met. He's in band." He's like, "Oh, shoot.
Tell him where you're performing next week."
Right. He was telling me he's going to be playing at Post. And I told him next month we're going to be at Madison Square Garden. Ernie was just bust out laughing. He's like, "Oh, shoot." Then all of a sudden the door opened. Mm-hmm. And I look over there and I was like, damn. That's Chris Jasper, the keyboard player. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Hey, what's up?" So Marvin said, "Yeah, this is Everett. I just met him. This is my brother-in-law, Chris." I said, "You're a keyboard player, right?" And he's like, Yeah. How you doing?" I said, "Good." And Marvin told him the same, right?
3-person dorm.
Yeah, they win a triple.
Yeah. Oh.
Right. So long story short, I was like, man, I gotta make a phone call home. Ain't nobody gonna believe this. I said, "Can I use your phone for a minute?" and he said, "Yeah, sure." And I was trying to keep it on the down low.
Right.
But my mother answered. I said, "Mom, you never guess where I'm at." So she was like, "I hope at college."
I hope at school. In class.
Right. You're not in jail, are you?
Right.
I said, "Mom, I'm here with the Isley Brothers. And she said, oh, that's nice. I'm like, who are they?
Right. Oh, great.
Oh, that's nice. So I turn around, and Marvin is just cracking up. He said, that was your mother? I said, oh, you heard? He said, oh, man.
Like, put Dad on the phone.
Right. Oh, man.
Where was Pop? He was at work?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was at work. He
Dang.
don't get home till 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, man. So that was the way that we became, I used to call them EMC.
EMC?
Yeah. Like E equals MC squared.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ernie, Marvin, and Chris.
Aw.
So that's what I would call them. And they were actually gonna have a band, and call themselves EMC.
Oh, wow.
Right. But they had their band before they started playing with the older brothers. It was called the Jasmine Trio.
Oh, okay. I never knew that.
Yeah. Yep. Right there in Englewood, T-Net.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're from New Jersey.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jersey.
Jersey. Yeah. But originally from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they were.
Yes.
West End.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was the introduction of a lifetime friendship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Life-changing.
Life-changing. Oh, my
Right.
gosh. And just getting a chance to hear their stories. See, I didn't have it like they had it. They had a limo driver.
To take them to class?
No, once they got to campus, she was off the clock.
Okay.
And she would go back to New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
So they would have to ride cabs or something like that. So I was like, nah, you ain't gonna ride nowhere. I got the car.
Right.
We're good. We're good to go. So, yep. So that's how that all started. And of course, they're going out on tour. And I'm like, man, how do they do that? They just go out on tour. And then they come back, like Monday, ready to go to class. Here come the limo. I know who it is.
Everybody knows who
Everybody
it is.
knows. Right?
So, like, how did your popularity go
Oh, my gosh.
from here to here?
Right. I mean, they just automatically assumed Chris and I, well, we all had afros, but mine and Chris's was the largest. Right. And wherever we were all always together. Just everywhere. So they thought I was a brother, but I was really another. From another mother, brother.
The
Isley other. But it was a testing time, and they wanted to really see who I was.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. They don't really know, but they were testing a little bit more. Who's this guy? We share musical things, classes, and we just really literally became brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What were one of the tests? Like, when did you figure it out?
One of the biggest tests was kind of like, don't tell nobody. But the biggest test was, hey Everett, why don't you come over and stay the night? We'll just be playing some music. And
Sleepover.
Huh?
Sleepover.
Right, sleepover, and we're in college. I said, well, I'm thinking, I said, I never drove to New Jersey. He's like, what?
Really?
I said, yeah, the farthest I go is Manhattan. So Ernie said, well, duh, just come across the George Washington Bridge. And literally, we're 15 minutes from the bridge. I said, okay, that should be okay.
Right.
So I said, when you want to do it? So he's like, this weekend. So I said, oh, okay. Bet. There I go. Nervous as all get up, man. because I'd never driven across a bridge, the George Washington Bridge by myself. And I was like, oh my gosh. Now look, there's no GPS. The worst person gave me the directions, Marvin, who doesn't drive at all. Right. And Chris said, you're going to get him lost, man. Give me that paper. This is what you got to do. Chris was the only one that drove at the time.
Okay.
With no car. So, long story short, I got there. And everything was set up downstairs. All their equipment, they had a 4-track Pioneer recording system. And now they're going to get a chance to see who I really am. Do I have any hang-ups? You know, who's this guy?
Right.
And can you really play? So, okay. Well, needless to say, we all did the same thing. Didn't smoke, didn't drink, didn't curse. Just all about music and food.
And food.
And girls. And girls.
And girls. Of course. Music, food, girls. MFG.
Yeah, that's right. You got that right. So after that time, I mean, literally, we stayed up till like 3 a.m, just laughing, watching TV. Man, we loved the same things. It was kind of like can't believe that we're really not brothers. You know.
Aw.
And Mrs. Isley was just great. She was like the mother of us all later on, because my family's going to be in Amityville. And she always, Everett, can I get you something? I'm cooking such and such. I'm making a cake.
Aw.
Yeah, so what a sweetie. Sally Bernice Isley, rest in peace.
Sally Bernice Isley.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yep. So, that was the one of the biggest tests to see who I really was.
So that was like kind of like an audition, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And after that, you were in.
Right. In their mind, they's like, okay, sorry for them other cats, but we get ready to replace these people.
Nice.
So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, right. How am I going to do that? I got my own band, Lightyear. If
Cool.
that ever happened, and then it was just, whoosh,
Right.
you know, never thought it would happen.
Wow.
Yep. But
Crazy.
that'll be in the next episode.
That'll be in the next episode. Yeah, that's a good place to stop. Yeah, so that's the crash course into Everett Collins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So if you want to hear more stories like these about the Isley Brothers and just the 70s in general, we're going to get into all of that. And I'm going to learn some new things as well.
That's true.
There are maybe like 4 stories
Yeah.
in this episode I never knew about.
That's right.
This
Well,
whole thing.
yeah, because she didn't come into the scene until the 80s.
So the 80s, yes.
And I was in college. I mean, having a child was furthest from my mind. But that all changed in 82, 84.
82, 84.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Oops.
We'll blurt that out. We'll edit that out.
That's
maybe.
right.
I don't know.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, to be continued.
To be continued. So, yes, like, subscribe. We're going to be on Apple to YouTube, everything, like Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram. We're trying to be everywhere. Because I've been saying all my life, like, you need to write a book. You need to write a book or something. Like, people
sure
need to
has.
hear these stories, and this is probably the best way to do it.
Oh, I mean, this just was not an option. Social media was the newspaper. And, I didn't even know how to navigate these new waters. But, I said, well, I have a daughter that's like lightning fingers on the phone. So this is perfect. If she could bring me
Right.
into this new world.
Millennial
That's
leading
right.
the boomer.
Right. I mean, we're sitting in my recording studio,
Yep.
so I know all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I'm still used to walking in record stores, buying vinyl, which is coming back.
Which is coming back, which is great. Yeah, we're in Atlanta, so
Oh, yeah,
my
that's
favorite
right.
place. My favorite place to go for records is Criminal Records in Little 5 Point. Shout out to y'all.
Oh,
So,
little
yeah.
5 points. I remember that.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
to make a stop there.
Which, by the way, I absolutely I miss, Williamsburg, Virginia, where we raised all of our children, and I miss Amityville. But I am loving Atlanta, and there's a lot going on, and even the chapter of the Grammy chapter here, the Atlanta chapter of the Grammys, NARAS, National Artists Recording Arts and Sciences, the Grammys is right downtown, 45 minutes away.
He's a member. He's been. How long have you been a member?
28 years.
28 years, and that'll be another episode to talk about.
That's right. Oh, wait a minute. My bad. 30 years.
30 years.
Well, who's counting?
Right.
Right. Which, by the way, I have to go ahead and vote because the Grammys are coming next month, in February. So I have to cast my votes.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yep. So, that's real good. That's real good. All right.
All right, so we'll sign off, and we look forward to seeing you and you hearing us and seeing us again.
That's right. All right. So
Until next time.
until next time, love you. Blessings. Happy holidays to you. And we'll see you. God bless.
Mr. Everett Collins on keyboards. Give him some, y'all.